Okay, year 11, I'm going to go through this test to get you ready for the test now on Thursday. And remember, it's going to be exactly the same except the numbers will be changed around. So we want to factorize. So remember, factorize means to put into brackets. So we have 15x plus 50. So we need to take a number out that will go into both 15 and 50. So the biggest number that goes into both will be 5. So then you have to say, well, what do I have to multiply 5 by to get 15x? You multiply it by 3x. What do I have to multiply 5 by to get 50? Multiply it by 10. Next one, 24a squared minus 18a. Well, the first thing we can do is take out the biggest number that goes into 24 and 18, so that's 6. And a appears in both of them, so we can take out a as well. So to get from 6 to 24, we'd have to multiply by 4, and to get from a to a squared, we'd have to multiply by a. To get from 6a to minus 18a, would multiply by minus 3. Next one, again we can take out a number and a letter, so we can take out 5 and w. So to get from 5w to 15w, you'd have to multiply by 3. To get from 5w to 5w cubed, you'd have to multiply by w squared. D then, we need the number that will go into both 12 and the 15, so that's going to be 3. And take the smallest power of your letters, so we've got d to the power 5 here and d cubed, so we can take out d cubed. So we're going to need to multiply 3 by 4 to get 12, and we'd have to multiply d cubed by d squared. Remember, you'd add those indices to get power of 5. And then we'd have to multiply 3d cubed by 5 to get 15d cubed. Again, taking out number and a letter, so the biggest number that goes into both here, 5, and the smallest power of k is k squared. So I'm going to have to multiply 5k squared by 12 to get 60k squared. I have to multiply 5 by 5 to get 25, and I'd have to multiply k to the power of 4 by k squared to get k to the power of 6. So that's all our factorising ones. Next ones then we'll look at our solve. So solve the following. So remember, you're trying to get x on one side on its own. So we have to move the 2 across. So it becomes 14 minus 2. We know 14 minus 2 is 12. So that's what 3x is. So to get 1x, we'll have to divide by 3. So x equals 4. Okay, next one. 5x minus 1 equals 7. So bring the 1 across, and it becomes plus 1. So that's 5x equals 8. Now we're dividing across by 5. So remember, if it's something like 8 divided by 5, just leave it as a fraction. Write it as 8 over 5. Okay, and don't miss out this line here, the 8 divided by 5. So this is where some people were making a mistake in this test. They were saying that it was 5 divided by 8 instead of 8 divided by 5. So we're moving the 5 over. Okay, for the next one then, 2x over 5 minus 3 equals minus 2. So we'll have to bring the minus 3 across first of all. And when we bring that across, it becomes a plus 3. So minus 2 plus 3 is 1. Then we'll have to bring this divide by 5 across, and it's going to become a multiply by 5. So 1 times 5 would be 5. And then again, to get x, we're going to have to divide by 2. So 5 divided by 2, you'd write it as 5 over 2 or 2.5. Okay, next one then, where we've got the brackets on both sides, we're going to have to multiply out the brackets. So we get 6x minus 15 equals 2x minus 8. Bring all the x's to one side and the numbers to the other side. So we have 6x minus 2x. Remember, we're bringing the 2x across, it'll become a minus 2x. And we're bringing the minus 15 across, so it becomes a plus 15. So 6x take away 2x, that gives us 4x. And minus 8 plus 15 gives us 7. So x is going to be 7 divided by 4, or you could write that just as 7 over 4. The next one then, this is where we had our algebraic fraction. And again, we've said this a few times now, you need to be really careful of minus signs. So the first thing we're going to do is get a common denominator. So 2 and 3 both go into 6. To get from 2 to 6, we'll have to multiply by 3. So we're going to multiply m plus 6 by 3. And then with a minus. To get from 3 to 6, we'll multiply by 2. So we're going to multiply our 2m minus 2 by 2. So then we'll multiply out the top line. So 3m plus 18 minus 4m. Now this is where people went wrong. Minus times a minus gives you a plus. Then tidy it up a bit. 3m take away 4m is minus 1m. And 18 plus 4 gives us 22. Now I'm going to bring that divide by 6 across, and it becomes a multiply by 6. So we get 3 6's, which are 18. I'm going to take my 22 across and take it away, and I get minus m equals minus 4, which means m equals 4. You can just get rid of the minuses on each side. Okay, then question 3, I think most people got the possible integer values. So it can be minus 2, minus 1. A few people forgot to write 0. 1, 2 and 3. It can't be 4 because there's no equals to. Part B, it can't be 0, but it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so solving our inequalities then. Remember, they're really similar to solving the equations. Bring the minus 1 across and it becomes plus 1. So that means 3x is less than 6, and then we're dividing 6 by 3, and we'll get x is less than or equal to 2. Your answer for an inequality should always be an inequality. Part B then, get all the x's to one side, so 7x minus 3x is less than 10, stays where it is, and the minus 2 comes across and becomes a plus 2. So 7x take away 3x is 4x. 10 plus 2 is 12. X is less than then 12 divided by 4, which means x is less than 3. And then our last question was on the FOILs. Remember, it's first outside, inside lasts. So for part A, first x by x, x squared. Outsides, x by 3 gives you 3x. Insides, 2 by x gives you 2x. And lasts, 2 by 3 gives you 6. And this is the bit then that we can simplify, because it says expand and simplify. So 3x plus 2x would give you 5x. So we've got x squared plus 5x plus 6. Second one then. First by first, x by x is x squared. Outside, x by minus 7 gives you minus 7x. Inside, minus 5 by x gives you minus 5x. And last, minus 5 by minus 7. Minus times a minus gives you a plus. and we get plus 35. Then tidying that up, minus 7x minus another 5x gives you minus 12x plus 35. And then our last one, first by first, 2x by 4x gives us 8x squared. Outsides, 2x by minus 5 gives us minus 10x. Insides, 1 by 4x gives us 4x. And last, 1 by minus 5 gives us minus 5. Again, we can tidy up the x's. So we're on minus 10 and we add 4. So that brings us to minus 6. So we'll get 8x squared minus 6x minus 5.